But okay, 2017. So I really there's a sort of dark black core, there's a brick red ruby edge to it. And you see that on the nose it's got that nice depth of darker fruit and dark sort of red fruit spectrum from the Western Ranges. But it's got this nice scorched earth note that I see in Greenock as well. That sort of red dirt gives this nice scorched earth character. But there's a nice red fruit perfume and spice and some nice floral notes from that Eden Valley component. And because it's a lot more than we normally see in this blend, it is definitely there. Again on the palate, this burst of fresh red fruits, good acidity. There is a darker fruit spectrum in there as well, and that scorched earth comes through. It's not a savoury note. It's very still fresh and young and vibrant. A really fine tannin and spice profile from that Eden Valley component, but really long, pretty. It is a little bit. It's a wonderful wine, but because of that extra Eden Valley component in there, it is a little bit stepped down on intensity from what the wine normally is like, but definitely not showing the complexity stakes. So I'm really happy with that. I hope I didn't come across as sounding surprised, but no. Looks really good. 2017, Barossa Valley, Eden Valley Shiraz. Yeah, I'm enjoying that. Thanks for listening, and we'll speak to you soon. So without further ado, let's give it a crack. So, pouring it out, colour looks good. I mean, it's 24 hours, just over 24 hours later since the first time I opened it, so you'd think it was still hanging on well. It is, yeah, there's that, obviously there's Barossa and Eden Valley in there. It's a cool vintage of 2017. So really there's some nice dark fruit of that Greenock fruit through there. There's some nice lift and red fruit and spice from that some more Eden Valley component. There's 29% Eden Valley in this wine this year, for this particular vintage. And wine is, on the palate, is quite full. There's some red fruit, some slightly darker spectrum. There's some scorched earth notes from that Western Ranges profile. There's some nice spice and very fine tannin and good length. So, to be honest, I think it's very similar to the first day we opened. Maybe a little bit full on the palate, but overall hasn't been much change. So, g'day everyone. Day 3 of tasting the 2017S. As I said, that's what we're going to do. Taste it every day. I'm not gassing it in any way, just pouring it out and putting the lid back on. And you can see it. I'm sitting in the office tonight, out in the office, so it's a bit quieter out here. Really deep red fruit. There's a bit of savoury, sort of plummy element coming through now. And that scorched earth note that I often see in our Greenock component of this wine is becoming a little bit more apparent. So, saying that, I suppose the fruit component is still there, but it is just a little bit subsided a bit. So. Palate's still pretty dense. There's some nice subtle red fruits. There's some dark fruit there. There's some nice gravelly tannin still coming through. Some spice, and again that sort of scorched earth, savoury texture is coming through. So really complex, really interesting. But in both the nose and the palates, that sort of lifted red fruit spectrum is probably just a little bit suppressed. So interesting that we're seeing, a dissipation of the fruit. But other than that, still complex looking sound. Day 3, which is good to know. So still happy. I'll see you soon. G'day everyone. Day 5 of tasting the Smich 2017. think it was yesterday, the last one, the primary fruit character was, or the bright red fruit was just subsiding. We had some more darker fruit spectrum appearing and more of that scorched earth savouriness, but be interesting to see. I mean, the colour still looks, it's great. It's very black core, really deep red on the rim. It's interesting. The sort of red fruit spectrum has come back a little bit. It's more sort of a nice bright cherry note, but that red, the dark fruit is sort of dissipated, and there's what could you call it? And that scorched earth note has also dissipated a little bit. There's more spice and sort of nuts and stuff. So whether that nut sort of note, it's not an oxidative note, but it's amazing how it changes. And so we've departed from that. The fruit note's there, but it's the red fruits has come back, as I said. But there's a more savoury element and spice note through it now. But on the palate, there's this rush of red fruit over the whole palate pretty well, and there is some nice spice and there's some spice notes underneath it. That's really about it. So there's red fruits and this spice on the palate, so it's really quite a contrast to the nose. And that scorched earth note, the darker fruit spectrum on the palate is very subtle. So it's really interesting how these flavours and compounds are ebbing and flowing over the day by day. So, wow. As in there, words of Brian Taylor, wowee. Interesting. We'll look forward to seeing it tomorrow. Cheers. G'day everyone. It's the last day of tasting the Smitch 2017 Barossa Shiraz, Eden Valley Shiraz. As I said, over the week I've been tasting it every day and just seeing how it evolves. So it's only a splash every day, and again, colour's still pretty dense, core, nice sort of brick red magenta rim. So the colour hasn't really changed at all over the week. You get in the nose, that fruit character has subsided. It's more of a sort of a meaty / fruit cake note through. There's still some spice there, but and some density, but definitely that lifted red fruit character that we've had for a lot of the week has really dissipated. And then on the palate, still pretty fresh, there's good acidity still there, but again that red fruit spectrum has sort of subsided and it's more of a dark fruit, a little bit of spice and some nice fine structure there, and that scorched earth note there is definitely savoury dominant now, and the wine's been open for a week pretty well, and I've been taking a little bit out every day and just tasting it without gassing the tank or using any wine saving mechanism at all. So overall though, I'm pretty impressed. It's pretty happy with that. Great way. So if you do have a bottle of wine at home, you only drink half of it one night, don't hesitate to leave it for the next night and maybe even the third night.